Yes, it's the Hardcore Grind interview. This is going to be a good one. We have the host of the 8 year in running show, CTT podcast on. They're going to be talk about their new season and all the great things that are happening. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, how are you doing? Thank you for
Hello.
having us.
Yes.
You are so very welcome. Now listen, congratulations. You have secured the 5th spot in Louisiana of as a favorite podcast of the year. How does that make you feel?
Honestly, after working and toiling with podcasting for the past 8 years, it's actually an amazing feeling to be recognized and be featured in that top spot, and then be awarded for that favorite podcast of the year last year. Shout out to Southern T. So it's actually an amazing feeling. What about you, JB?
Hey man, it's dope. With me coming on to the podcast was it's a different little thing, but it feels good. It feels good though.
Absolutely, I love it. Now, I always like to talk about a goal moment, right? So a goal moment is when thought and execution come in place, because a lot of times we're really mindful about other people, how they do stuff, when they do stuff, and if it's a good thing for them. But when we deal in ourselves, we kind of deal with lack. And we take slow moves. And a lot of times when we're taking those slow moves, I call it the switch up happens. And the switch up happens when God places his divine hand on the situation and he says, I need you over here. And so he shakes things up to move you to where he needs you to be to receive what he has for you. Talk a little bit about your goal moments, each of you, and the switch, because you guys switched from 106 online to CTT Media. Talk a little bit about that, Kimberly.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so that was a huge goal moment because we had been in the space creating with Future 106 for 7 years, and we were shaken to our core and moved out of there. And that honest moment for me, it was heartbreaking because you get comfortable somewhere and you think this is where I'm going to be creating and working for X amount of time. You don't see that you're going to be ripped away from it. And I never really talk about it out loud how it personally hurt me, because all of these things that we created, all of these people that came through that room, it was important not only to me, but important to our city where we are. It was a part of the culture here. So seeing that and feeling that, wow, I mean, it hurt. But now looking past that hurt, I understand that was important for it to level up to bring it back home even more. But, we got to go to that. Sometimes everybody can't go to that next level with you. You got to go by yourself in order to bring it back, So, yeah, that's where I am. But thankful for JB, he found us a new location, and I'll let him tell that story about finding their location after we were, moved out of that spot.
Let me hear it.
Oh, well, to be honest and real, I came on the last 3 years. I wasn't with them when they first started, because with me, I'm a audio engineer producer for Area 61 Studios. So what happened with us was our head engineer got transferred from his regular job to Atlanta. So it was okay, that's perfect for him. He still does music. He's still an audio engineer. He's still a producer too, but he also has a regular job. So he was this is going to be perfect for me so I can handle business more with the music side in Atlanta. So he was hey, we got to give up the building that we're in. So the first building that we were in, we were on Jackson Street here in Alexandria, and then we moved to the building that we were recently moved out of with Future 106 down the hallway. Well, for us as a recording studio, that was basically the home base where most of the artists here in Alexandria started, in a room that was down the hall from them. So I said, okay, cool. Y'all leave. We'll just bring the studio over here, put it over here, set it up, get it right. Got it right going. Got it going for 3 years, and then we were transferred. Well, my thing was, studio got to keep going. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. So what I did was I told them, I said, hey, look, y'all, give me till about December, January. Let me see what I can do here. Let me see what I can find. Got on the phone with my head engineer. I said, hey, bro, look, give me till December, January. Let me find something. Studio's gonna be back up and ready. Told Kim, I was like, hey, look, I think I got something. Went and looked at 2 buildings. Didn't like that. I didn't like what I saw. I was like, all right, bet. So I went back and talked to the same guy that had first 2 buildings. He was like, well, look, before you go, I have another building already that I need to show. I can show you. It's upstairs. It's in a little complex. Let me see if you might like that. So I got over here, saw the building, and when I saw what I needed to see, I said, well, okay, this will work right here. So I told them. Some of them didn't come. Everybody else came. They liked what they saw. Here we are now. We got Area 61 Studios and S2EP3 Media all in one building.
Yes. All in one. And like I said, if it wasn't for, JB finding this location, we don't know what season 7 would be, because season 6 was really bubbling. Like it was, people were tuning in, our numbers were growing. And I was like, wow. And also during season 6, I was traveling. And so I was going to different cities. I was going to different cities in Florida. I was in New Jersey. I was in New York. And I was networking with people. I was talking to people. I was like, yeah, I have a podcast. Make sure you tune in. I'm putting flyers and graphics in their hand. I'm taking their phone and following the podcast on our platform. And then to come back home, in the middle of the 7th season, or in the end of the 6th season going into the 7th season, to hear that we have to move, it's like, no, I can't stop, because I just went outside of Louisiana to do a bunch of groundwork to get those people to tune in outside of our city, So I was like, I cannot stop. I really have to keep going, And so, again, if it wasn't for JB finding this location, I don't know where season 7 would be, and then in season 7 to be awarded, and then also to have that number 5 spot. We started off at number 10, then went to number 5. All those things, good and bad, happen for a reason. And at one point, I wouldn't be able to say I understand it, but sitting here now, I understand that. I'm like, no, we needed to be shaken up. We needed that core. We needed to get out of our comfort zone. We needed a change. So that was the go moment,
I love it. Now, what's the one thing your show, venturing into media, did that you guys did not expect? We're going to start with JB.
I can't say favorite podcast. I mean, I kind of knew that one. I must say being number 10 in the state. I didn't expect that one at all.
Okay, and Kim?
Well, so what I did not expect is we had a live performance with our city. So we do live shows with our podcast as well. We put them on ourselves. But our city, the city of Alexandria, they allowed us to do our podcast live in front of our city for our Christmas festival. And I was not expecting that. I don't mind DM diving, email diving. I don't mind reaching out and contacting people, And so I reached out to the lady who were over the performers, because I knew this was something new. Podcasting, as much as it's familiar with the world, it's very new to the city that we live in. Our city is, small. Not small, but, it's very new. It's still unfamiliar territory. So I'm reaching out to her on the whim, explaining, like, yes, we want to do our podcast live. And they're still not fully understanding how they're like, podcast live. What is it? And they still allowed us to come and do our thing on stage. I truly was not expecting that, but that was a great way to end out season 7 with us performing live at our city. So that was that moment for me.
Absolutely. I love it. Now, in everything that we go through, right, every challenge we face, there's always a lesson that we have learned. What is the biggest lesson that you have learned about yourself? We're going to start with Kim.
Wow, yeah. About patience with myself and not giving up on myself. Yes, we have so much adversity in the world. I mean, we can have so many challenges come, and sometimes you want to say, oh, I want to throw in that towel, I want to quit. But it's like, no, through those times, you keep going, especially if you know this is for you. You know it, you feel it, you see it, you're putting all this hard work and effort to it. You know this is for you. Just keep going, but also have that patience, because it's like planting a garden. And when you're planting a garden, you know you plant those seeds. You got to toil them, you got to water them, you got to wait till it grows. So yeah, that was the biggest thing I learned about myself in this journey.
And JB?
For me, it is. For me, I've been through this now 3 times, so it's always for me it's the never say die, the never quit in me. That's what it is. It's just that simple. I don't quit. You're not gonna make me quit. It's nothing that's gonna stop me from getting where I gotta go.
I love it. Now, you know, when you want to start a podcast or anything in media, sometimes it can be overwhelming because it's a lot that goes into the production and the promotion and the branding. What would be an encouraging word that you guys would give to new and upcoming media personalities? JB?
Man, consistency, man. Whatever you do, I'm gonna tell you like how I did it, man. Before you do anything, before you even like get a microphone or whatever it is you're gonna do, man, do your research on stuff. Like know the background, know your history. Then fall off into your paperwork or whatever. Fall off into what things you need. Fall off into that. Then get a list of the equipment you need. Don't just jump right off into it, man. But when you do jump off into it, when you finally get everything situated, you finally get everything down, man, always remember, man, consistency is key, and you got to have patience. You got to have patience. Without patience, you have nothing. You have nothing. If you can't be patient and go through the things that you need to go through, you're not going to have it. I had a football coach that told us for 4 years straight in high school that team or the person that fights through the most adversity is the team or the person that will always come on top. So you gotta fight through the adversity. You gotta fall. There's gonna be times where you're gonna fail. There's gonna be times where things are gonna go wrong. There's gonna be times when things are gonna go good. There's gonna be times when things are gonna go great. You just gotta push yourself. You gotta push yourself through it, and you gotta be consistent through everything.
Absolutely. This is a Hardcore Grind interview with the fabulous host of CTT podcast. And we have our next fabulous addition. Welcome.
Hey.
Hello there. Hi.
Oh, Tiani. Okay. You could have let us know you were coming.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's all right. Welcome. Now, we're talking about just coming together and giving advice to new up-and-coming media personalities. But I want to go back because we're just getting you, right? And I want to ask you, we talked about a goal moment, right? And so a goal moment is really when thought and execution come together. That's when we decide to move our feet. However, a lot of times we're so worried about other people and how they move that we tend to deal with lack. And then a switch up happens in our life. That's when God has to shake up our surroundings because we're not moving our feet. He needs us over here, so he needs to make moves so he can get us where he needs us to be. Talk a little bit about your goal moment because you guys had to have that switch up and be able to switch from one show network, 106 online to CTT Media. What was that process like for you?
Well, let's see, this is where I get wordy. I try not to get so wordy. I'm about security. So for me, it was, and I don't really like change much. So for me, just starting and coming in and being in a specific location, knowing that the same people are going to be there, knowing that if I'm sitting in this spot and I look to my left, a true lady is right there. If I turn and I look to my right, Certified 360 is there, and we can play off each other, and just the atmosphere of it. So when that shifted, it was just more so of learning new dynamics because the seating shifted. And so, of course, I'm so used to looking in certain directions for one person or another person and turning my hand to give a high five to someone else. And it's like, I have to figure out now how to maneuver this. But other than that, it really wasn't too difficult. I think for me, being the youngest, it's just still knowing that at the end of the day, these are my people and they got me and we're going to make it work because the chemistry is always there. And even though we lost Future 106 and it shifted to CTT Media, it's still the same energy. And as long as you have that, you're really good to go.
Absolutely. Now, with all of the change, though, what is the biggest lesson that you've learned about yourself?
Oh, wow. This is deep, ain't it? Okay. Out of the change, the biggest lesson that I've learned about myself is that I'm not as scared as I think I am. And I really mainly hold myself back. So I had to learn to be more confident and build my energy and myself to be more public because I'm so used to hiding behind things for the most part and like fading into the shadows. Basically, I will let my light dim and I've learned to let it shine more.
He always working. Always typing on that damn phone.
I don't always work, and I'm not always.
A little bit. Maybe a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's interesting that you said that because I'm actually working now. But I'm here.
We went out of town on a trip, right?
Uh-huh.
I had to lean over and say, "Hey, bro, put the phone down. It can wait. That can wait. You got a team for that. Let them control it. We on a trip to get that today. Put the phone down."
The question, though, that brings up a good point because a lot of times we forget to take care of ourselves. We forget about that self-care. And so in that moment when we can't let the reins go, what is that moment like for you, learning how to let go and let your team work for you? We're going to start with Kim.
Wow. So honestly, It's about having trust. You have to trust people to be themselves, good and bad, when you're building a team. And so you have to know that, okay, this person, if I believe this person is capable to do this, I have to allow them to be themselves in this moment to do this and not try to control every aspect, you know? So, like that has been the biggest thing with me when it comes to podcasting is, like, you know, wanting to control every aspect. It's like, no, you can't control every aspect. You have to allow JB to be himself and have his rants when it comes to the podcast. You have to allow Tiani to flourish and show that his fashion ways, and not even just his fashion ways, just who he is himself on the podcast. You have to allow Nova J to be able to be herself and have that different opinion as a woman, you know, that most women won't have. You can't just say, no, you can't say that, or no, you can't do that. You can't say that. You know, you just have to allow people to be themselves, and that's what I think that's a great dynamic of the show is everyone being themselves and not having any holdback, you know, not being afraid of, you know, who they are and what they bring to the table. So that's the biggest thing is trusting people to be themselves.
I love it. And JB?
Okay, so it's different for me. So with the podcast, it's the same thing Kim said. Not too much different with the podcast. Now, with the other part, with studio, I'm a one-man show. I am the engineer. I am the producer. I am the receptionist. I am the secretary. I am the booking. I am the banker. I do all that for the studio. So for me, when it comes studio-wise, I have to just make sure I don't crash out, because it's easy for a producer to crash out because it's like, all right, we just spinning our wheels, and everything else. But I try not to, so I have to make sure I take breaks, because also I'm a DJ as well and a church drummer. So I have to make sure I take time, because if I don't, I can easily crash. Like the podcast is easy because it's a team. We feed off of one another. We know how each other works, you know, through everything else. But like everything else that I do, I gotta make sure. I have to make sure that I take time, because everything else I'm a one-man show. Everything is kind of on me until the team comes in town. Once the team comes in town, then I'm cool. I'm straight. They either follow my lead or I follow whatever lead that needs to be done. Until then, I'm a one-man show, podcast. We all a team effort here.
Absolutely. Tiani?
I think for me, the issue has been it's kind of like a mix of what they both said. Like, I've been blogging so long, mostly by myself, and working with other people, that when I finally got to the point to where I was going to launch my own and I was going to build a brand by myself, I didn't set out to look for a team per se. My initial plan was simply to just have someone to scroll down Instagram, scroll down Twitter, go to TMZ and say, like, hey, this is what's happening. Give me a few notes and I'll go in and write it. But it started to evolve into them saying, like, hey, instead of just doing notes, let me just write it and you proofread it, and if you like it, you post it, and I'll keep up with this for you, and I can do that for you, and that way you can work on this and you can do your scheduling, and it became organic. And I think for the most part, at the end of the day, I still look at it as like, well, this is mine, so at the end of the day, it still has to fall on me. Granted, I do have a team that I love very much and who's been very supportive. But at the same time, it's like they're not obligated to be here. And they ensure
Mhm.
me every single day, like, we're here because we enjoy it and we believe in you and we support you and we support the brand. It's not just you anymore, and you don't have to carry all of this on your shoulders. So it's just really been just learning to trust the people that you with, which is what I said earlier, and just learning to work with each other and build that chemistry, and knowing that at the end of the day, this person's going to do this person's going to do that, and this is where I come in. I can still be the face of it, but even behind the scenes, there are other people who are putting just as much time, just as much effort as I am, and that's been a little challenging because I just still feel like, okay, look, hey, your girlfriend, like one of my guys, his girlfriend just had a baby, and he's literally in the hospital sending me notes, and I'm like, go be with your girlfriend and go be with your baby. I got this, but at the same time, I get it, and it shows dedication. So
Absolutely. I love it. Now, look, it's 2024 now. You guys are coming off that solid spot you're holding in Louisiana. You're coming off the Favorite Podcast of the Year award. Like, you guys reach a diverse amount of listeners across the world. What are we going to expect in this 8th season? What y'all coming with?
I'm still getting fast.
Go ahead, JB, say it again.
I'm still on your ass. I don't care. Ain't nothing changed. I'm on your ass. I'm not gonna change. I'm gonna crack my joke. I'm gonna roast you. I'm gonna think of everything in the book to throw at you. Just don't come here with this foolishness again, people. Y'all be coming with some foolishness, and then I'm still gonna make them fight for their life on CTT Jeopardy. That's my job. That's my position, is to make them fight for their life on CTT Jeopardy. Sometimes you might get a question I might not tell you the answer to because it's in another phone, and I wasn't trying to do that. I apologize. But, hey, sometimes it happens like that. It happens. And for these confessions, people, you people that write these confessions in, you come here with this craziness on this confession, I'm going to read you your rights and make sure you understand that I am on you until the rice turns off white. I'm on you. I am on you. Sometimes y'all confessions be, I wonder about y'all sometimes. I wonder.
So basically, he said y'all about to be clutching y'all pearls, and I don't know what he gonna ask y'all, but just know that may not reflect the whole team of CTT podcast. And
it does not reflect everybody else. They gonna know once I get started, it's over with. Just let him go. Let him go. You know, just let him go. Just let him go.
Yeah. So, yeah, to piggyback on JB, yes, we want you guys to tune in for our each segment because those segments are important. As JB highlighted, each and every one of them, they're important. They bring a different dynamic to the show. You know, they let people look forward to something week to week because I want to know what JB is going to say in that confession. I want to know what questions are going to be a part of that CTT Jeopardy. What's going to be the humor preparation for the week? You know, those are things that people should look forward to week. And not only are, the segments the biggest thing, but we have more content that we're going to put out this year, and we have some things in motion and planning to do this year to cause us to travel outside of our comfort zone a little bit more. So, yeah, just look forward to us, follow us, and stay connected, honestly, and look for everything that's going to happen in Season 8.
Y'all also stay tuned to make sure to see if a true lady is going to mess up them damn lyrics in humor preparation.
because you know I'm going to do it.
She gonna jack up some damn lyrics in a heartbeat. And then gonna look at us and say, I thought y'all was gonna chime in. We don't know what the hell you thinking. You coming with something. What is this? What is this?
Exactly.
What about you, Tiani?
I just plan to get more fashion, and that's kind of it. Just more fashion.
Just more
and
fashion.
And not be as shady as I was in previous seasons.
That's a lie.
See?
2024, I am turning over a new leaf. I am just here to spread positive energy.
Yes.
Find the light at the end of the tunnel in all of the situations.
Talk about it. Spiritual awakening happening here.
Absolutely.
I don't know who lie about throwing shade more, Tim or Kim. I don't know who does that.
Now, wait a minute. Now, why you got to bring me up?
Cuz, listen at the doggone hat there. Listen at it.
I'm never acting shady. That is correct.
I lied. And him over here, he gonna throw it. He gonna throw it. But the cold part about it, me and Nova J gonna always catch it, and we gonna always crack a joke right behind it. I know I am. I'm gonna crack a joke. I don't care. Sometimes I might offend you. Sometimes I might not. But hey, you just gotta take it as it comes.
I love what he said, y'all. He said what he said. He's standing on that 10 toes. Now, y'all have so much going on. You have come through many challenges. You have made many milestones. You have made memorable moments for your show and your brands. What's next? What's next for each host on CTT Podcast?
Honestly, for me, yes, a true lady is a host on the podcast, but bringing a true lady back to radio, bringing her back to those mini blogs and things of that nature, so people can get immersed in her rebrand. Like for the past year, I've been hit and miss with a true lady and giving out the tea, but it's time for her return. So that's what, the podcast relaunching for this season, getting in gear, so preparing for a true lady's return. So I'm excited about it.
JB?
For me, it's to continue the grind of being an audio engineer and a producer, man, outside of the podcast. Just, perfecting my craft with that, continuing to work with different artists, man. Just continuing the grind as I've always been doing, man. I've been producing since January 1st, 2018. And it's now 2024, so that's now 6 years. I've been in this music game for 6 years now. So it's patience is has been a virtue. Patience has been a virtue over these 6 years. I've seen my ups and downs with it. I've had my failures. I've had my good and my bad. But through it all, man, I stick through it. Keep fighting, keep pushing. It's something about this year with my music. I feel like this will be the year for something big. I don't know what it is. I can't really, I'm not gonna say I can't speak on it because I don't know what it is. But it's something that I feel that this could be the year for something big. So just continuing to grind with the music, man. Just staying on it. Making sure everything goes, how it's supposed to go, and staying successful with everything, man. That's it. Just keeping my focus, and sticking to the plan at hand. That's it for me.
All right. And Tiani, with you and all your fabulousness, what's next?
Stop it. You know, 2020.
What are you bringing? First of all, I could tell that you're still working, so we need you to put the phone down and participate.
I am working.
Somebody else got it. Somebody other than me also called him out. Yes.
But no, the last half of 2023 has been a mess. But you know what I've learned is so vital, and honestly, truly, this is my revival. I think 2023 has been difficult for a lot of people. I think it's been really one of those weird years that everybody was glad to get over. And I definitely did have to take a break from a lot of things. And, you know, as Kim stated and as JB stated, like, I'm just trying to get back to being Tiani, doing what I love, and helping, you know, making it bigger, making it grow. And I think that's important for everybody. Oftentimes, you know, we have goals, and life just has a way of saying, hold on, and it will literally stop you. And sometimes, you know, you look back at those situations and you're just like, well, maybe that needed to happen so I can reshift and refocus. And that's definitely what I plan on doing in 2024, refocusing on Tiani, refocusing on the brand, refocusing on just moving forward and just figuring out the direction that I would like to go.
I love it. I love it. I so appreciate you guys coming on, sharing your time, space, and energy with me. I love it. I'm so proud of you. Each and every one of you are going to bring something epic to 2024. I'm excited to see where CTT Podcast goes. I want you to shout out all of your social media for your show and individually for those that want to catch up with y'all.
All right. So make sure you follow the podcast at CTT Media Group on all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, or search for the hashtag CTT Podcast. JB?
All right, man. I'm going to do it like I do on the podcast. Is I certified 360 deep. The one your old lady loves, one your ass can't stand. You can find me in St. Louis smoking industrial. Nah, I'm just playing. You can catch me on Instagram, certified 360 deep. Twitter at certified_360. Facebook. We got panhandlers out here that decides to sell my government name. No proceeds go to me, by the way. I don't see no profit. But if you ever run into one of them, hey, you can find me on Facebook that way.
Tiani?
Well, I guess I have to start by saying shout out to Kim and Khloe Kardashian, who helped me clear my name on Facebook earlier this year. It was a long process, so you can find me on Instagram at Tiani Kardashian. You can find me on Facebook at Tiani Kardashian. You can find me on Snapchat and TikTok at Tiani Kardashian officially. My Twitter, or is it X now? I don't know what to call it. You can find me on Twitter / at Tiani Kardash. And you can follow my blog, Some Like It Hot, which is _SOMELIKEHAUTE on Instagram. I relaunched a couple of months ago, and now I'm up to 13,000 followers. So yay! Let's get to 20,000 by the end of the month.
I love it. I love it.
Also, make sure to follow our co-host, Nova J MUA. She's not present, but it's Nova J MUA on all social media platforms. She, her hashtag, she makes brushes talk. And, of course, it's your girl, the true lady, the chick that's never acting shady. And you can follow me at SuchALady85 on everything, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, or really Search for the hashtag Catch the Tea.
I love it. Well, I appreciate you guys. And we will talk to y'all really soon.
Thank you for allowing us to be on your platform, Lissha.
Thank you so much for having us.